Market update here on the 20th. So we finally get a sell-off in the market, and a pretty substantial one too. QQQ is down 1.5%, Tesla down 3.92%. This personally been the last 2 weeks have been like my worst trading weeks in a long time, and especially on Tesla, I've been getting chopped up. And today I made some money on these puts down here, but I made a few more mistakes. But again, this is just a B wave still, in my opinion. And here's how I got messed up today. So I was expecting QQQ to pull back here. So in the video yesterday, I said that we're looking for 410.40. Where did we hit? 410.46, 410.50, whatever. So that was the 1.61 fib. So I was expecting a fourth wave to come here. And this is a reason why you probably shouldn't be buying fourth waves. Because if you're wrong, it's kind of like ambiguous about where you put your stop at. You're going to put it at the 50% retracement? Are you going to put it at the start of wave one? It's not really the best thing. So a lot of like Elliott wave books or like suggestions will say you need to sell everything at the end of wave three, because wave five you might even get a truncated wave five. So you might get this and then just go right here, and it doesn't actually get to the very to new highs. So that's exactly what happened here. I think this is probably the end of wave five, but it's a truncated. We didn't really get a wave five. It kind of just sold off, invalidated the whole move, and came straight down. So that caught me off guard. And then Tesla, I was actually looking at this earlier in the day as potentially right here as a ending rising wedge here on a fifth wave. So I was actually looking at this as potentially this was going to go up a little bit higher, pull back. That's the wrong one. So I was looking at potentially something like this, kind of like a rising wedge fifth wave. And I really should have stuck to what I said in the video yesterday, but I got impatient, and that's what happens. And then all of a sudden, and this right here I should recognize too, it looks like a B wave. But this whole move has been very, very messed up. It's been going on for a week now. And so it's kind of ambiguous. And so what I think this is now, with all that being said, I think that this is just wave B completion. So I think this is wave A. This was B wave completion. And also, if you look at this, so this is just wave A right here, and then this whole thing is, let's see, it would be, let's see, A, and then it'd be A, B, C, B, and then we're working on a C wave down. But look at this right here, the 1.61 fib, if that was just the A wave, we nailed the 1.61 fib. So we did get to 260 momentarily. This 2-hour supply zone's been pretty strong. We're in weekly supply. So there's like no reason to be buying calls or anything up here. I got tripped up because I thought QQQ was going to go higher, and I tried to get cute. And that's usually when you get screwed. You should really just stick to the high percentage moves. So yeah, I personally think that this is a AB move. So we're looking at, again, down here at 233 minimum, and we're looking potentially all the way down here at 208.50. But, you know, right now it's really kind of a choppy, screwed up market. So if it invalidates again, then it wouldn't surprise me. But I think that we are due for this move right here. So I'm looking at something in this area. We have daily demand here at 240.30. We have daily demand here at 225. And then the max it can go is 208. So I don't think we're going to make it down to here. So I personally think this is still an ABC move. I guess it's possible. It can still be. This can still be a second wave, I guess. It can still be a second wave, but it's a really, really drawn out one. This has been over a month now. So this area was pretty easy. This A wave was very simple, if that's an A wave or whatever, first wave of a third wave. But all that really matters right now is we should be coming down here into this area. We're probably going to gap fill 225, potentially 208.50, but probably not going to get down that far. We're probably going to get stopped up between 212 and 225. This is too short, I think, so I'm looking at this box right here. That's where I want to be buying. And let's zoom in a little bit. So on the smaller time frames, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Potentially, futures are up right now. Potentially, this turns out to be a C wave early in the morning, and then we sell off. And I would think that we probably would make it all the way down here to 240. Could be wrong. Doesn't have to be that. But I'm looking at that as just wave 1. We're not going down far enough. So depending on where this ends at, I'm looking for a pullback after that. So something like this, and then sell off more. This is the way it should play out. Again, this market has been absolutely pretty tough lately as far as figuring out what the moves are going to do. Where it'd been really easy. October and November were super like easy. This move down here, these moves were easy, and then we got this chop. And then figuring out that was a lot tougher, but this is the move that should be happening over probably the next, let's see, you're looking at probably 2 weeks. You're probably looking into early January. You're looking at something down here in this box. And then after that, if you buy the dip, you should be able to make some money on the upside. So that is Tesla. The good thing about this is if you're long, and let's say you got screwed up in here, you're going to get another chance. It's probably going to go to new highs. We're looking at least, let's say if we go to 225, we're looking at least 283. There's a gap, and there's that supply zone up here. So they'll probably try to shake out some people over the next couple of weeks, tax loss selling, all that stuff, but that's what I expect. QQQ now. So like I said, this got invalidated in my opinion. This would have been a third wave pullback, another move higher. So with that invalidated, we did hit this 4-hour demand zone right here. And there is a 2-hour demand zone right here, and then there's a 3-hour supply zone right there. I'm looking for potentially more downside tomorrow. This could be a B wave as well. I don't think this is finished yet. It shouldn't be finished yet. I don't see a fourth wave yet on the 15-minute time frame. We should get a bounce and then more downside. So if Tesla's going to go to 240, I would expect this to probably sell off a little bit more. And it's probably going to get stopped in this box, though. I think that we're not going to make it down in this area. I think we're probably going to get stopped in the 4-hour demand zone. And then I would expect, again, depending on what it is, it just really depends. Is it going to be an ABC move, or is it going to be a 5-wave move? If we zoom out here, again, the only daily demand zone on the whole chart is sitting down here at 378, and that's where I expect to go. I went over this in the last video. I expect this to be a overall fourth wave, and that should take us all the way down here to about 375. So this should just be the beginning, and it's probably going to be pretty quick, but I'm looking for basically a 7% sell-off from here. So basically right down here could be something like this. Maybe something like that. And then this would be a good buy zone right here. You can see here on the daily, you'll be back at, this will probably adjust. I don't know why this is saved on the 50. So in the 128 days. So we would just be coming back to the mid zone actually at this point. So that's kind of like, this should definitely happen. We're at 2 standard deviation. This is pretty much normal. This is going back basically to the mean. So if you're short, it should work out, but I would expect a little bit more down and then bounce. And then SPX, already have this drawn up. We hit that supply zone that I talked about, and then we sold off hard. So I wasn't following SPX as much, but it's pretty much the same layout here. We'll see how far it goes down. Let me look real quick and just see. There's probably like a 4-hour demand zone. We're probably in that here too. Nope, don't see one. 4-hour demand is not down here. Let's look up daily. And daily is not that good. Let's do 4-hour. So I would be looking actually down here to 465.5 potentially. So tomorrow might be another sell-off. We'll see. It's a decent sized move lower, but and then on the upside you have this right here. You have this daily right here, and then you have another 2 or 3 hour supply zone right here. So I'd be looking at 475.6. But again, the downside is probably more likely. So you might see 465.5 tomorrow. Let's go over NVIDIA. NVIDIA down 3%. Again, just expecting this to come down here to 440. Not really any good daily supply zones. Let's go over 4-hour. And you can see here it hit this 2-hour demand zone right here. So it hit this today, and it pretty much stopped in that. We'll see how that reacts tomorrow. 3-hour, yeah, it's a 3-hour demand zone. 2-hour, let's see it, 1 hour. Not really that many demand zones here, so we'll see. It's possible that we go down here and fill this gap. So you got a gap here at 423. That's only about a 15% move, and then that could end wave 2 down here. So I would be looking at this right here, probably 423. And then you can see at that area you're going to want to buy because you're probably going to do a third wave after that. Amazon, I'm going to see how this fall. I didn't follow these as much. I was so focused on trading Tesla, and so yeah, this is pretty much, let's see. Got to watch out with Amazon. Like I said yesterday, this might be a B wave. It's probably going to be a second wave, to be honest. This is probably some kind of B wave, though. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like A, B, C right here. So A, B, maybe something like that. Because if it's going to fall like 10%, that's going to take it down to like 140-ish. So you're probably looking, I think I showed this in the last video, 1.61 fib right to it. So you're probably looking at this as being a C wave, just the same as NVIDIA. And you're looking at a minimum here at 142, a maximum of 130. Apple, this one's pretty simple. Showed this in the last couple videos. We're looking for 177 minimum, 178, potentially all the way down here to 155. Microsoft, down to 370. This looks like a first wave to me. So you're probably looking at down here 355, bounce probably lower than that. You're probably looking at, there's a gap fill down here at 338. I wouldn't be surprised if it got all the way down there at 338. Let's see here though. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. 338, that'd be about a less than 10% move. That makes a lot of sense, I guess. That would just make this 5 waves right here, and we'd be doing a second wave probably. The dollar didn't really do anything today. Pretty flat, but again, still expecting that move back up here to 105, 106. So that just shows you there's more downside to come. And then you're going to want to buy. And I think that's pretty much it for now. I'll probably go over the other tech stocks, but for right now, I'm going to leave it like that. Expect a little bit more downside tomorrow, but I think that futures are pretty green. If this would actually work. Okay. Okay, futures right here. Up 0.42%. That takes QQQ to like 409.70 or something like that. So that's a normal fourth wave bounce. So I think you're probably going to see more downside, but we will see. I'll leave it at that for now. Good luck tomorrow. Expect some more downside, and then probably going to get a bounce maybe on later in the day or maybe into Friday. I'd be very surprised if we just started bouncing right away. So that's it. Have a good night.